Today we're going to show you one of our most popular and requested freeze-dried recipes.
Hi, I'm Kathy.
And I'm Melanie. Welcome back to Thriving Life.
Our goal is to give inspiration for natural nutrition.
Freeze-dried food with feeling and enjoying every day. It's a very simple recipe for chicken salad. And I think one of the reasons it's so popular is because it really, new chicken. I think one of the reasons it's so popular is because it really gives people a sense of what the chicken is like.
I'm just going to interject since I had to use the can opener to open the can. You do want a good can opener that just cuts along the rim. You don't want those newfangled kind of ones that cut the entire top off and they cut down, and then you're left with a razor sharp edged can. And
so if I could show, we mean a can opener that cuts down this way, down into the can, as opposed to cutting this way, this top lip off, right? So some can openers go around this way and some you go around this way.
So the ones that do the side and cut the whole top off, not only is it razor sharp, so not a good idea, but then also the resealable lid will not sort of seal it. It'll be too loose.
Because you can't really see on camera, but if you like, I can go like this. This is not a sharp edge of a can. It's like a finished raised edge, and that's what kind of seals with the white resealable lid once you open it.
Right.
Chicken. So a lot of people can understand freeze-dried fruit. Like that's become relatively common in the modern age. You know, you get it in cereals sometimes, things like freeze-dried strawberries. You see little packets at the dollar store, things like that. So just a side note here, we try a lot of freeze-dried from a lot of different places, but we do not promote all the freeze-dried food that we try. Some of our highest values for whether we will actually promote freeze-dried food on our channel, two top things I would say: we need good product quality and good customer service. Those are two of our highest values. So if companies don't meet our standards, we only want to promote things that we really believe in, and those are our values for deciding that.
Right. So I did 1.25 cups of the chopped chicken in the bowl, and their onion dices. You can certainly add them in just like that. It's perfectly fine. I tend to crush them up a little bit because we don't like bigger chunks of.
I believe I've explained on this channel before. I'll put a link if I know which recipe or video it is. But I've explained before how I would leave onions out of recipes because of how much I hate chopping onions. So this is great that we don't have to chop anything. And also I tend to like the onions to be like invisible. They're okay for flavor, but I don't want the texture. So yes, we break them up a little bit.
Right. Then we're adding 1/3 cup of chopped celery, and you can see very tiny pieces, which is really nice because then it refreshes without having kind of big chunks of celery, right? But now I'm going to add 1 cup of water. Any temperature is fine. This is just cold water.
Right. So back to what I was saying about the chicken. Lots of people try freeze-dried fruit now, and as we showed in our very first video, which was the snacking video, lots of people, can try fruit. We talked about snacking on fruit is like you can just take it out of a package and eat it, and that seems normal and right to people. When you start talking about meats, all of a sudden people are like, meat? I don't know. That sounds weird, right? But so the meats, we're not recommending you snack on them. I mean, like, you could live on it, but like, I wouldn't do that. I don't want dry, crunchy meat in this circumstance. That just seems odd. So it is fully cooked white meat chopped chicken. This is what we're using today. All the meats are fully cooked. You could just eat them dry, as we said, and some people actually do snack on the sausage. That's not my kind of thing, but some people do. If you want to know about recipes for that, what they call
Mountain Man trail mix
or whatever, let us know in the comments because we can do that if people are interested. So you can live on it, snack on it, dry and crunchy, but that's not really what you expect. Refreshing it is going to get you to the texture as if you cooked up a chicken and you chopped up and you just had white meat chopped chicken. And then you can eat it cold or hot. So chicken salad is a cold recipe, so that's why we don't care about the temperature of the water. If we wanted a hot meal, we could use hot water or just use water and heat it up, and then we would get that. And we will show more recipes like that in the future, hopefully.
All right. And then I added 6 tablespoons of mayonnaise of your choice. We like the real stuff. And 1.5 teaspoons of honey mustard. So I just put that in the bowl.
And you could use Dijon or your preferred mustard, but honey mustard is something that we have in our fridge all the time. And so it just adds a bit of flavor.
Right. And then I'm going to do a 1/4 teaspoon of salt.
Chicken salad is so popular that we're making it again because it's even popular in our household. And we wanted to interject just to make sure we were really clear about the method and a couple other things that we forgot to tell you. So in the bowl, we have 1 1/4 cups of chicken, 1/3 cup of celery, 2 tablespoons of onions, which we broke up a little bit because they're kind of large chunks for us, and then 1 cup of water. And then we put that in the fridge for 15 minutes. Now, we said the water doesn't have to be any specific temperature. In this case, we're using cold because we're making a cold dish. But once you refresh chicken, so like we said before that it was cooked and dried, like fine to snack on, and it's shelf stable. So it just goes in your pantry in the cans, goes in your pantry or on your shelf, whatever it is. But once you add the water back in, then that's like having fresh cooked chicken. So you do want to keep that in the fridge. You do want to keep it at the appropriate temperatures. Then treat it just like you would chicken, and it's good for like, maybe 3-4 days in the fridge max. So just whatever you would regularly do with chicken. So that's why after we add the water and stir it up, we put it in the fridge for about 15 minutes just to kind of let the water do its work and absorb into the chicken. Yeah. You want it to get right into the middle of the chunk, right? Because these are chunks of chicken, so not just the surface. And then this is what it looks like. Yeah.
So you're adding a cup of water, and it looks like a lot, but by the time you stir it and put it in the fridge and bring it out, there's maybe a teaspoon left at this point. We've also done before, it was just the 6 tablespoons of mayonnaise. Mm-hmm. It was 1.5 teaspoons of mustard or honey mustard, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and just a pinch, up to 1/8 teaspoon of black pepper.
Right. So you just want at least that sort of 15 minutes, I think, is the minimum to make sure all the water is absorbed. And then when you add your mayonnaise and stuff, you're going to get the texture of chicken salad that you want.
Right. And it's perfectly edible, like right out of the can up to this stage. It's just that nobody really wants to eat
That's not really the texture you expect.
Hard chunks of chicken.
Unless you're a dog. You know, when you drop it on the floor, your dog will be happy to clean it up for you because it's just chicken. There's no other ingredients. Like there's not even any salt. There's not any preservatives or anything like that. It's just a freeze drying method that has the moisture taken out of it. So dogs actually usually think they're like dog treats. It's like they're in dog heaven. Yeah. And actually, a lot of dog food is freeze dried nowadays, and we have some more tips on that. So that's coming in a future video that we'll talk about what we do for our dog for his snacks and treats, just so he gets the great freeze dried nutrition as well. And I can make it the night before and then have it ready in the morning to just make up sandwiches for lunches, do like the school lunch, work lunch kind of thing. That's great. Lots of times if we want to avoid the bread, then we just do it as a cold plate. So we'll have some chicken salad, and then we'll do maybe some fresh fruit or cucumber or tomato slices, something like cubes of cheese, chips, pickles, really anything that we would do on like a cold smorgasbord that you would do on a sandwich, only we're skipping the bread and the grains.
Right.
So that's an option. That's probably what we'll do tonight. But anyway, so you can leave it in the fridge to chill it, but it's not necessary because everything, like the chicken is already fully cooked and everything is fine to eat raw or at any temperature.
Right. So to catch you up again, I did the 1/4 teaspoon of salt, which I threw in there. Yeah. 1/8 teaspoon of pepper, which I threw in there. Doesn't matter. Both in there, both in here.
Yeah.
Mix and match.
It's pretty easy, right? The recipes that we show are not like souffles where they're like super rigid methods. You know, we're talking about like, yeah, you do it how you like it. Like they're more like guidelines than what you call actual rules.
So I'm going to add the sauce into the chicken and mix that up. And then we like to add fruit.
Yeah, kind of our star ingredient on this, which I feel like levels it up. You know, you watch a show like Next Level Chef, and they're like, how did you elevate it? How did you make it next level? Why is this not just boring, basic chicken salad? This is how we level it up here at Thriving Life. So we're going to add some of our freeze-dried fruit. Now, again, freeze-dried fruit is totally fine to snack on. So it's all about the texture that you like. Mom likes her fruit crunchy. So, for instance, we will stir this up, we'll add in the crunchy fruit, and then pretty much eat it right away. If you want your fruit to be softer, more like the regular texture of fruit, then you're just going to throw it in, stir it up, and leave it for a while, either out or in the fridge. I guess throw it in the fridge, and then that's going to take some moisture on and again blend those flavors, and that's going to get more to the texture as if you cut up all the fresh fruit.
Right.
So we're skipping all that effort. Look, you didn't have to chop anything to make that.
Sometimes if I'm having chicken salad on a cracker, I will put it on my cracker and then I will just add a nice little piece of fruit right on top, and then it's super crunchy.
Yeah.
The mangoes, I guess, do you want to open those and show them a slice of mango?
So in this case, we're going to do the freeze-dried mangoes from Wise Harvest. Again, the fruit is like optional, and we know people who really swear by pineapple in their chicken salad. You could do something with cranberries. You could really do whatever you like. But in this case, I like mangoes.
I just took a minute and, broke them up into little pieces.
Yeah.
And
nothing wrong with that. Again, just we kind of, Mom likes, as discussed previously in salad just videos, Mom likes everything to be bite-sized so that she can get a little bit of everything in a bite.
I like an even distribution.
Yeah, she likes an even distribution. So that's just why we break up those things. That's the only reason.
So that's done, and that will just sit now. We can
kind of get that real chicken salad texture, I guess, of where everything gets the blending of flavors. Then we're going to put it in the fridge for, again, I would say what, at least 10, 15 minutes, but up to overnight or something. It's not a rush to eat it. Right. Then we'll come back and kind of show you how we serve it up. And yeah, because it's a little hard to see in there, and we'll try and show you some close-ups. Then that's our chicken salad. We're going to enjoy some lunch. Today we're going the toasted rounds and just going to enjoy it that way as sort of a little open-faced sandwich. So many ways to enjoy your chicken salad. Thank you for watching, and if this video wasn't to your taste, then we hope you like the next one. Today, we're going to try and show you we're not going to try. We are going to do it. Okay, today we are going to show you one of our most popular and requested recipes. It's good though for people to see what it's really like.
Get a can opener.
Let me see, can you do that again? And I'll show so people can see. There you go.
See the size?
Yeah.
I think you can see that. Put your hand there again.
Yeah, sorry. That's how you get the camera to focus. In the cans right there. It just goes.
That's
sorry. Yeah. Sorry, that was a bite. So again, this is. Let me see.
So because they're big slices,
it takes practice. Okay.
Yeah, just spilled right over.